Welcome again, Footspeaks Podcast listeners. You're with your host, Problematical here, aka Cliff. I got a very special person here today, fellas and ladies as well, who's listening. We have legendary FIFA. He's a FIFA veteran, and we've decided to collaborate behind the scenes. We've been talking through Instagram and just trying to come up with some interesting topics for you guys. And this is the month of December to remember, right? It's the most wonderful time of the year. I love this time of the year. So we got something special for you guys to talk about. So what we're going to do in this month, we're going to actually do a 4-part series. And this is going to be for those of you out there that's ever wanted to start your own FIFA Ultimate Team and you, as far as a content creator. And we're going to actually talk about what is the best or how to create your own FIFA Ultimate Team YouTube or podcast. Okay? So Legendary FIFA is actually a YouTuber, and myself, Problematical Cliff, is also a podcaster. So we're going to collaborate together, and we're going to give you guys 4 series. This is going to be the first series, the first part. And we're going to talk about how you guys can look at this for 2019. If you're thinking about this already, as again, it's the most wonderful. I'm not going to sing again. You already know what I'm saying. So just think about this for the future. If you're ever thinking about this and you wanted to start your own FIFA content creation, this is where you guys can get this information at. So before we begin, I want to introduce Legendary FIFA to you guys. And I want him to be able to, be welcome. So everybody out there, welcome, Legendary FIFA.
Hey, man, how are you? It's Aris, guys, by the way.
Aris, a.k.a. man, I'm appreciative of you, man. Again, just for those out there, listeners, the way that we connected, this is, very candid. We were just on Instagram, you and I, both content creators. I put out, a bunch of episodes, and then I think you mentioned on one of my episodes, you said, hey, bro, check out one of my videos. And I checked it out, and I was very impressed. I liked what I was watching. And then, from there, we hit it off. We were just like trying to connect, instantly.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, that's basically how everything started. Basically, I slid in his DMs, guys, for everyone who doesn't know. But yeah, we basically talked off camera basically for a little bit, and we really liked what each other had to offer. And in my opinion, I really like him. He's a humble guy. And if you guys haven't listened to his podcast on a constant basis, I think you should, because you're missing out.
Yeah. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And likewise. And as we're introducing, both audiences, this is going to be a really interesting episodes coming up for this month. I really want to take the time, first couple of 10 minutes, if that is so. Again, to just introduce you, Aris, to the listeners, the podcast listeners, Footspeaks Podcast, and briefly just tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Where you from? Tell us about your FIFA career, as far as you played, on the field in real life, and you also play, on the actual consoles. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So right now, I'm basically I live in New Jersey right now. So I'm from New Jersey. My mother's from Colombia. My father's from Greece. I was born and raised here. I actually lived a while, probably about a year, I'd say, in Colombia. And the reason for that was because I actually played soccer professionally over there. And I'll be honest with you, it was a hard time. I played against very, very tough opposition. Everybody there is fast, quick, strong. And that's where I started. I played in Colombia. I played for América de Cali, Atlético Nacional, Eintracht Dortmund in Germany. I actually started in 6th division in Germany, which is really a really funny thing. And I made it all the way down within 2 months, all the way down to 2nd division before I had to. Yeah, it took a while. And the funniest thing, too, is because they couldn't really pronounce R's, the Germans. So they didn't call me Aris. They called me Avis. It's some sketchy stuff. And then not even going to lie, too, it took me 1 month to learn left and right. They would the coaches would yell at me. They'd be like, Links, Rex. I'd be like, what does that mean? And then I've also played a little bit in Greece, and I played in DC United as well. Down here in DC. Wow. And that's for my actual soccer playing career. Right now I'm injured. Yep. I tore my ACL, MCL, medial meniscus, all of the above, the whole big trifecta plus another extra parts that basically screwed up my whole knee. My knee went like this.
Oh man.
So, but it's
Wow.
all good. I still have about another 6 months left in recovery, I'd say, and then I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
So
You're
that's
strong.
my, yeah. You
You're a
go, yeah.
strong, you're a strong brother, man. I haven't torn my meniscus or my ACL, but just the sound of it sounds painful, and the fact that you're like, yo, you know what? I broke it, but it's okay. I'll be back. I'll be back. That's shout out to you, because I think that anybody that overcomes injury with a positive mindset is to show how much we persevere when we really want to do something and we really want to get back on our feet. And I think that's like that human story, you know what I mean? Like just to give you a sense of understanding what I'm talking about is like, you know, if we've been put down for something, or we've been injured for something, it's like the dog in us, the battle in us wants to get back up and to get back on the grind, you know. So kudos to you, man. That's inspirational.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And then speaking about that, you reminded me of the fact that basically you're going to have your good days and you're going to have your bad days no matter what you're going through, whether it's injuries, whether it's something in your life. So
Right.
no matter what it is, you need to find an outlet to portray that expression and those emotions. And what I decided to do was create a YouTube channel and
Right.
create some content to make other people happy, because I
Yeah.
remember when I like watch YouTubers like A&N Skills, Nepenthes, Bates, and Fuji, all these guys, all the big boys out there,
Right.
even some
Right.
little guys too.
Right.
They basically made me happy. Like if I wasn't having a good day, sometimes I go home, watch their FIFA videos or drafts, whatever the case might have been. And that's why I started my channel. And I just wanted to be able to give back in a sense. And I want to help other people keep going if they're not like in the best place, you know, and
That's a
even for the ones that are in their place. But that's the goal.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. And that's interesting, because that's actually one of the things we were going to talk about when we get into that episode, second part of just talking about purpose. And listening to you talk about that is, I think it's important for those listeners out there that's listening, because as you're talking about your how you got to the point of coming to say, I want to create something. Yeah, I'm looking for inspiration. I am looking for something in joyness or excitement or happiness or something to boost me up, to get me out of whatever bad feelings I may be feeling. You turn to YouTube. That is a great, I think, motivator as well. Whatever we can find that's happy, whatever we can find to create happiness, or to give back in a sense, because that's what we're doing, right? We're giving back to the community by showing the community how much we every day want to inspire others, because we're also inspired by each other. Again, like the human connection. You know what I mean? And I just want to say again, like, purpose is something, even for myself as a podcaster, I had to think about this for a long time and say, what do I want to create and why? And I had to think about that for maybe a good 6 months, until I created this. But when I thought about it, and I said, I love what I do as a hobby of playing FIFA, but I wanted to also say, maybe if I can perhaps talk about topics that I love to talk about, which is FIFA Ultimate Team and also real world soccer, maybe I can also incorporate by interviewing people and finding out what they like, and finding out if they also agree, finding out what inspires them, what makes them happy, and kind of make that like that platform. That was the beginning idea, so you as well talking about this. So tell me a little bit about, like, what inspired you to do the type of content that you're doing on FIFA Ultimate Team.
Yeah, man. So first of all, I love exactly like everything that you just said, and like it actually is really motivating too.
Yeah.
Because for others, I want to, before I get into that, please hold that thought for a second. Make sure I
Yeah.
don't forget to answer the question.
Yeah.
But basically, what you were saying is that it took you 6 months. Everybody
Right.
thinks you're going to be able to do it like right away within 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 days, 3 days, whatever it is. Yes, it does take a lot of planning and preparation, but the hardest thing to do is start. And
Right.
if sometimes even the most confident people are afraid to start something, and they're also nervous. And I wanted to leave you like think about this thought. Basically, I don't know who said this, but there's a quote saying, "How many ships didn't sail because of the belief that the world was flat?"
Woo. Yep.
Now, if you're
Yep.
thinking of that, basically everybody thought the world was flat.
Right.
And Christopher Columbus, I think there might have been other people before that, but they say Christopher Columbus was the first one to land in the Americas.
Right.
And basically, with that being said, if you have a belief in something, go and do it. Don't be afraid to do it. Go ahead and start it. And that's something that motivated me to actually start the channel and start the content, because I love that stuff. And I had the belief in myself. I don't need it from anybody else. You don't need it from everyone else. Just go ahead and do your own thing. So what specifically brought that content that I love enjoying? So I grew up playing FIFA like 2000. I remember having the Euro 2004 video game.
Okay.
And then like I remember having FIFA 06, 07, 08. I have the whole stack. I have the whole collection for the most part. I lost a lot of the video games, like the first 10 from PS2 through a hurricane.
Right.
Hurricane Sandy, if you guys ever heard of that. I went through that. Basically, my whole family and I lost everything, but that's a story for another day.
Okay.
But yeah, I grew up with it. I've been playing soccer ever since I was little. Like you guys know, I already said that I play professionally for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's just what inspires me to make like content for Ultimate Team and just everything about that kind of stuff, because, you know, I enjoy it. So
Right. So on the Ultimate Team itself, back to the original question that you remember you said you didn't want to forget. What inspired you to create, like, because in your Ultimate Team, what I've seen, and correct me if I'm wrong, you do a lot of player reviews. You talk about mega teams. And then you put out your recent videos, which I watched, how to make easy coins. So a question is, for those out there that's listening, what is it that if they're trying to create something, how do you come up with the idea of where to start? Like what, in the actual Ultimate Team, if they want to do it, or if they want to do even career mode, if they want to do, talking about, what's the guy's name? The featured Alex, is it Alex? I think his name is. I can't remember, but basically what I'm saying is, if they wanted to do a different, let's say they want to do a FIFA Ultimate Team, they'd say they wanted to do story mode. Creation is creation. It's so much things that you can do. Like you said, you talked about Nepenthes. He focuses on squad battles, I think. You talked about, other players, other people, YouTubers. They all focus on something specific, or they do a broad base of everything. So what's your feedback on that as a YouTuber? If somebody's thinking about creating content, how should they create that, or what some ideas should they try to think of to create?
Okay, so first of all, before you do anything else, just be yourself. Don't try to copy anyone else in a sense. What you can do is take information, and you can take the ideas and the styles of video. He's probably looking at his kids, guys. But just taking a guess. But like I said, anything you do, just put your own twist to it and try to do whatever makes you happy.
You hear my baby in the background, London.
Yeah, that's actually really cute. Oh, London? Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, there's London.
Oh, look at baby London. Oh,
that's
hi.
my wife, Stephanie. This is gonna be on the podcast, by the way.
Oh, okay.
No, it's okay. Just letting you know.
That's hilarious.
So that's natural right there. So to give our listeners and YouTubers right there, this is real life. You gotta incorporate it, man. Don't try to be perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the best things aren't perfect, man. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Straight from Miley Cyrus right there, guys. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. What were we talking about?
You was talking about the ideas of if somebody was out there trying to figure out what content to create on YouTube, if they wanted to do YouTube.
Okay, yeah. So basically the content that you need to create, like I was saying, do not copy other YouTubers in a sense. Put your own twist to it. You can do what they do,
right? But
just add your own unique style to it. And by me saying that, I'm trying to say, give me a second to like think about it, because I'm just trying to process everything.
Of course.
I'm not trying to spit you guys false information. So let's see. What I'm trying to think of is, when you're starting a video, one, if you're trying to grow, you need to stay relevant. You need to follow what topics are popular, what's coming out, what's the hype going on right now. Like if squad battles or SBCs are coming out, or if the FIFA just came out. Think of content and think of unique names to your videos, like titles that people will search for. That's not necessarily just a broad search, because you could have like FIFA 19 Ultimate Team coin video, something along those lines, and how many people are going to be searching for that?
Yeah.
Like basically the big YouTubers, they're going to come up on the top. They're always going to come up on the top. So if you have something very, very specific, that will help you grow and gain more of a following. Because I've realized that when I title things like, you could say like 100K squad builder, it's, you know, it's not as spicy. Maybe you throw in 100K overpowered squad builder, because I know a lot of people search overpowered OP. I mean, it's not as much as just regular, but if you put that in the title, you'll definitely get more views for the specific people that like look it up. Because when I'm looking into YouTube analytics, basically what it says is how people like find your content. Like I get people through Instagram, through Twitter, through Facebook, whatever the case may be. And then it says through direct search. And when it says through direct search, that means that if you have more of a unique like name to your video, however people still search for it, that will help you grow in starting your content. So that's one of the first tips.
That's a really big tip. And I want to actually go back to that tip, because you said something that a lot of people may not know how to actually find that. YouTube analytics. How do they get to the YouTube analytics?
Yeah, so there's Creator Studio and there's also a Creator Studio Beta. I don't know which one contains the analytics. It will say either one. Right. So basically you need to click on your profile picture on like the top right corner. You guys should know if you have a channel by now, if you've already made a few videos. Even if you haven't, there's a section that says my channel, my video, studio, my profile, settings, all that stuff. You just need to go to Creator Studio or Creator Studio Beta or Classic. Choose one of those. It should give you the analytics right on there. And then there's more in-depth analytics once you start playing around with it. You won't know what to do right away, but if you start playing with it, you'll get a feel to it.
Nice. All right. That's why they call you Legendary FIFA. Now I understand.
Nah, man, that name was just a joke. I just thought it sounded cool.
I'm just joking. I'm saying that you're sounding like an expert, and I'm taking my notes as you're talking.
Chill, bro. I'm not even close to an expert.
So all right. So let's say somebody wants to know how much cost does it take to start a YouTube channel?
All right. So relatively, if you guys want me to give you an exact cost, I'm not going to give you that right off the bat, because it just depends on what kind of like items you have. So I'll go into what I have and then what maybe you could substitute it for, or, you know, change it out for. So I have like a MacBook I use to edit usually. Funny thing though, is I actually learned that after editing on my MacBook, it was much easier to just edit on iMovie on my iPhone. It's really weird. Like everybody thinks like, oh, edit on your laptop, edit on that. Like, you know, it's more expensive, obviously, because I have a MacBook. It's like what, $1,400, whatever it was at the time. And just, I found it so much easier to just edit on my phone. So next thing I do, I record from my iPhone. I basically have the iPhone X 4K video. You can even record vlogs and everything on here, if you really want to, because I've done it before and just the quality is actually insane. So any iPhone you have, because let's just be real. If you're making a YouTube video and you're editing a picture-in-picture, like if you're recording like through a game capture, like Elgato, like the video game on the screen, and then your video just goes in the corner, you don't really need good quality on your video, if we're being honest. So any iPhone, if you have anything to record like that, just make sure you do that and turn off the volume off of the screen. Make sure so it doesn't record that, and you have this like the volume coming directly through the game capture, and then you could just edit in your own audio afterwards and then play around with the settings. So for filming, you could have a very cheap camera or a very cheap phone, basically any phone camera that you're able to edit. I use iMovie. Any editing software you guys could probably use. There's a bunch of free ones out there. I'd be honest, I don't really know the names. I only mess with iMovie. So if you have any type of iPhone, that's my type of people out there. Android definitely has their own type of thing too, but iPhone is the way I go. So basically, I have the camera, my Elgato game capture, which was like $120. So my phone, if we're being honest, it's like $800 to $1,000, which it sucks to say because I know a lot of people don't have that kind of money.
Right.
but like I got it with a plan and it became cheaper. So like I said, any phone you have to record, you could
Right.
record.
Oh,
Then
most of the kids out here will probably have an iPhone, no matter if it's a 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. I mean,
yeah,
nowadays every kid wants that for Christmas. You know, it's the most wonderful. I'm sorry, I don't know. I keep singing. I love this month, but you know what I'm saying.
yeah, yeah. I mean, if we're being honest, like everybody pretty much has those. You're right.
Like it's the number one. It's the number one. You know, I guess asked gift. You know, from kids is like, I want an iPhone. I want an iPhone. You know, or if it's your girlfriend or your wife, she wants the newest one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially if it's someone trying to start YouTube,
Right.
they're probably gonna have an iPhone if we're being honest with ourselves.
Exactly. There you go. So relatively, you talked about also the equipment. Was the next question was, what do you
Yeah.
need to create the content? So you just said it. You said you basically just need the Elgato or any type of game capture card.
Yeah, so you need a game capture card,
Right.
any type of camera,
Right.
and then any monitor. I'd say you'd need a computer 100% to record through the Elgato, and you need
Mhm.
to download the game capture library from Elgato.
Okay.
So any type of computer should work. And on top of that, you're going to need a monitor or a TV. I have a regular TV in my room. So basically, what you need to do is one end goes into the Xbox and the other end goes through the Elgato. And then there's another one. There's another wire that goes from the Elgato into the laptop or the computer.
Mhm.
And then you could just record right through the game capture.
Right.
And that's exactly how it would be.
Awesome. All right. So the last question is time. You talked about that a little bit as well. How much time does it take to record, edit, and upload to YouTube?
So depending on how much time it would take. So let's see, if you're playing several games, they take about 20 minutes at a time, I'd say,
Mhm.
to play each game, 15 to 20 minutes at a time. So if you're playing 3, 4 games for an episode that needs that, obviously it's about an hour, hour and a half, you'd say, maybe more than that.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, editing would probably be about 2 to 3 more hours on top of that. It
Okay.
just depends on what it is. If it's foot drafts, it's probably longer because you play more games. Player
Right.
reviews longer.
Right.
The easy how to make coin videos, usually you can just talk over them or you record it on the spot. So those don't require much effort or much time.
Right.
Just depends what it is. But for the most part, if you want to make good content, you're playing games,
Mhm.
longer videos,
All right.
longer
And
editing times. I mean,
so to end on this first part series, what's something now, if somebody after they listen to this podcast or they watch the YouTube, as they'll be able to follow you as well, what is something that you would give them as what to come for the next series? Like, the next series, I think we're going to talk about a little bit about planning, organizing, a little bit more of that part. But if what I'm trying to say is to leave them with, because I always want to feel like, what's the takeaway? Somebody listens to this, they say, "Oh, okay, now I know what to do." What's an action step you can ask, like, give people right now if they want to go ahead and start their YouTube, their channel? What's the first thing they should do right now?
don't be afraid,
All right.
because if you have all the content, if you have all the equipment, any type of equipment, go for it and just start. So
All right. There you go. So you guys heard it.
yeah, short and simple, but like to the point. And if you heard anybody in the background, probably someone screaming. So let's just be honest.
Yeah. Well,
Some
hey,
family screaming.
we keeping it real. We keeping it real. That's what we were saying, right? My family came in. Your family's in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially if it's your mother. Like, if your mother's screaming, respect your mother. You don't want to get involved in that. Like,
There you go. So to end the episode, brother, go ahead and let the listeners know where they can follow you on social media.
all right. So my YouTube is Legendary FIFA. My Instagram is Legendary FIFA Official. Snapchat, I don't really use it much. I'll probably jump into that. It's Legendary FIFA. Twitter, I'm about to create one soon, and it'll probably be Legendary FIFA Official. And on top of that, if you guys can't directly find my YouTube channel through YouTube, which you should be able to, but if not, just go over to the link in my bio on Instagram, and you'll be able to find it a lot easier.
They're gonna find it too, because I'm gonna put it on my description. So you guys will also be able to find it on footspeedspodcast.com. As you guys already know, if I have any of my interviewers on, I always put their links on there. So thanks again for coming on, brother. And this is, again, for you guys out there, this is the first of 4-part series. Again, for people who want to create content on FIFA Ultimate Team. And we're going to talk about YouTube and also for podcasts. So look forward to the next episodes coming soon. Thanks again.